Alright, so we're making fingers, hand parts right now. This will be the first part, building the frame. Starting with a piece of garden wire, flexible garden tie. You can get this stuff at the dollar store. Probably not very much of it at the garden store, but you know, it's posable. And we're eventually going to coat this in epoxy resin and paper mache, which is real brittle and real fragile. So at least putting this in there, make sure it doesn't fall apart when it cracks, which is inevitable. Now this stuff, we just had my wife's baby shower. I was inundated with pink tissue paper. And what do when I see a pile of crap? I say, oh, we can use this for the haunt. Right, Fletcher Brothers? Alright, just so you've got some girth. Masking tape. When you paint a condo and a baby's room in the same month, you end up with loads of masking tape. Might as well use that for the haunt. This stuff's cheap. You don't use it sparingly. Load up on it. Alright. So now we've got just, you know, pretty much a slab of nothing. I'm gonna kind of like just guess where the knuckles would be. Give them a little fingertip there. 2 knuckles now. To get a little bit better of an effect, I'm gonna take a couple little tiny clumps of this tissue paper. Put it on just one little square of tape. Kind of like a lot of bubble gum there. I'm just gonna put that where his knuckles might be. These are going to be skeletal hands, you know, not skeleton, skeletal. You know, they'll be like hands that are undergoing decay. Still some flesh on them. You know, we'll paint them like a brown, blackish, decaying color. I haven't figured out what we're going to do about fingernails yet. We'll probably have something along the lines of fingernails on them. Maybe get some cheap press-on nails from the dollar store also. Good. Making an arm.
An arm?
My arm.
Alright. Let's see it.
Starting with some garden tie.
Alright.
Cut it roughly to the length of my tibial.
Alright.
We're going to end up doing paper mache. This is just to give it a little bit of a workability.
Alright.
Now we're going with just some scrap paper. I've been ordering a lot of parts and junk like that. So we're just gonna build it up a little bit. Build it up, buttercup. Baby, just to let me down. Alright.
How do I zoom?
It's such an exact science, as you can see.
Very impressive.
Now, I'm gonna take all this dang masking tape I've accumulated. Because of painting the baby's room and painting my condo, and I'm so sick of painting. And then there's just, you know, give it a little bit of a thin candy shell.
Go on. So that's
phase 3, profit.
What's phase 2?
Phase 2.
Phase 3, profit. Excellent.
So we're going to start with this. This is going to be our base. We're going to paper mache over it. First bone. So that's probably going to be the larger of the two. Now I'll make a smaller one to go with it. Actually, I'll probably just coat this one first with paper. Just doing 1 part colored glue to 1 part water. Take the pink tissue paper. It's the first time I've done paper mache since I was a wee lad. So I'm sure some of you veteran haunters are probably telling me I'm doing something wrong. Feel free to let me know in the comments.
That's right. Let him know, people. Gotta get his learn on.
Alright.
Learn.
So we'll get a good couple of coats of this. You can kind of see, I mean, if you ignore the pink, and I'm going to coat this in epoxy resin and then paint it, so you know we'll have just the texture. but you can kind of see how the tissue paper gives you like a rotted flesh texture to it.
Oh yeah, look
Like
at
there's
that.
still some skin clinging to the bone.
Nice.
And probably gonna take a couple of coats of this stuff, a few hours drying in between, so I'll probably do this for a few days to all of these parts before I'm ready to move on to any of the coatings or anything.
Excellent.
And then 1 or 2 layers of paper mache over that. Then I cut them down to size. You can see here where I cut the ends off and snipped them, just based on the length of roughly the length of my arm bones. Now I got one closet coat hanger straightened out here. I didn't cut it at all. When you straighten the hook and you unwind where the coat hanger twists, you get this nice corkscrew pattern at the end, which I have jammed all the way up into that foam part in the middle of my hand. Wrapped some masking tape around that. So that's going to give me a little bit of posability here. And it's also going to let me attach it to my bones, which I'm going to do right now. Hopefully we'll be able to make a solid arm out of this. Now we're still going to go over this with tape a few more times. And we're going to go over this with mache a few more times. Try to get that to come out at the end there. And we did. Close enough. And then we'll see how much we can slide this up into the hand. That's pretty good right there. So that gives us forearm structure. Maybe it's a little longer than my forearm, but I'm not too worried about that. And we have posability. Now I'm going to do something here just to give us a little bit of cover up. I don't know if I'm going to do latex or probably just mache again. I want to do something that, you know, gives me a look of rotted flesh still clinging to the bone and also covers this joint. And then I'm going to take this side bone, you know, the forearm is 2 bones, and that'll just be taped or mached like that. Actually, I think I'll do that right now while I'm talking to you guys. Eventually, not really sure where this arm in particular is going to go. Probably on the pneumatic leaping prop. There's some teaching ourselves animatronics videos that are coming out soon. We started that prop out using a door closer. Actually, that's right behind you here. We're using a door closer as a pneumatic cylinder. I talked to some folks on the Shadow of Palms chat who were pretty adamant about that not being the way to go, how it's unsafe. Did some research on my own that kind of corroborated that story. So I went on surpluscenter.com and got a couple of pneumatic cylinders. A little bit more expensive, but for peace of mind, those things are rated up to 200 psi. So I'll be able to make a better prop out of that anyway. So that's coming in the future. So right there, I just, real quick, a tape job. We'll go over that with mache again. But that gives us our 2 arm bones. We'll give this some base coats with the airbrush. It's not going to be a pink arm, don't worry. We don't do pink here at the Zombie Contingency Agency. And then last is going to be the elbow joint. Same thing. This is tomato wire, newspaper, masking tape, and coat of paper mache. We're going to go up into the middle along the axis of the bone. Hit something in there. Some muscular tissue of some kind. Alright, right out the middle. And we got an elbow. Right here, I'll use this to connect to whatever shoulder segment I go with. It's kind of the first time I'm doing this. It's just working out pretty well. So we may do a one-take video posting on this guy. Again, we're going to go around here. Just give it some masking tape. Everywhere you see me putting masking tape, we're gonna go mache over that. We'll lose the posability with the mache, but what we lose in posability, we will gain in appearance. I think we'll probably still be able to maneuver it to some extent. And then when we're done, we're gonna put epoxy resin over the whole thing. So there we go. Ready for some more paper mache here. Here, we'll just put the shoulder here. That's my zombie arm. But we can, we can pose it any way we want there. That's pretty nice. We can just straighten them out. This will probably end up being some kind of prop that, springs up and the arms will reach a little bit. Probably a little long. I mean, this guy must have been like 6'10". Made him a little bit too much there, but I could probably adjust that with not too much effort. Make him a little fatter in here, give him some muscle. I'll put some cheesecloth with some epoxy resin in between the arm bones. That came out all right. I'm digging the arm. High five, baby.